Hi everyone, my name is Kim Miller. I'm the representative for WyoTech, and I've been with WyoTech for the last 10 years. It's been my privilege to come into Mr. Burbank's class during that time and talk to his students, and I appreciate Mrs. Johnson being here as well. She's a counselor here at the school, many of you know that, and I've been talking to her about our career interest surveys. Today I'm not going to spend all my time talking about WyoTech. I'm going to talk to you about some life skills and strategies. I'm going to talk to you about a game plan. You know, what are you going to be doing 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? I'm going to be talking to you about opportunities of education and finding the right educational plan for you. We'll play some games. We'll talk a little bit about the strategies on how to know how to deal with employers. And then we'll spend some time talking about WyoTech. But either way, we'll have a lot of fun today. I'd like to start off by talking to you about what is your career plan? What are your plans when you graduate from high school? What will you be doing 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now? Are you going to be married? Are you going to have a family? You know, what are your plans? I'm going to show you a little video that kind of talks a little bit about this.
You don't want to live your life like this. Or this. Or this. You need a game plan for success, especially when it comes to life after high school.
Now, all of you know that you need to have some kind of a game plan. What I like to do right now is have you take everything off of your desk. And what I'm going to have you do is clear your desk off, and I'm going to pass out an iPad to you. What I'd like to have you do is open this up and then put in your name and contact information, and then I'll be collecting this right after class. So right now, what is your game plan? What are your plans when you graduate from high school? Are you going to be married? Are you going to have children? Are you going to have a family that you're going to support? This is a time when you need to be thinking about all these different areas here. So you need to have a game plan for success. And part of that game plan is understanding what you're going to be doing after high school. How many of you this past summer had someone talk to you about, hey, what are you going to be doing after high school? And how many of you really know what you're going to be doing? So right now, everyone in this room, whether you're a senior or you're a junior, you're probably thinking about some of these options right here. You've got your traditional colleges like your universities, Utah State, University of Utah, BYU, Southern Utah University. You've got Dixie State University. Community colleges, some of you are looking here locally at Salt Lake Community College, which is just down the road. You also have Snow College. These are your 2-year schools. Then you've got your career schools and your trade schools. You know, an example of your career schools are like Stevens Henry College, Provo College, Eagle Gate College. Example of a trade school is a school like WyoTech, and we'll talk to you a little bit about that. Some of you are looking at serving our country in the military. I think it's a great option. But one of the things I want to ask you is how many of you here have ever thought about being an accountant? Okay, good. So can you be an accountant by serving in our country? You can. So how about being an engineer? Anyone here want to be an engineer and also want to serve our country? Or being a dentist or a doctor? Well, have you ever thought about utilizing those interests, going to school and also serving our country and having our country pay for your education? Great option, because if you're not going to be full-time military, wouldn't it be awesome for you to come back into civilian life and transition right into opportunities, but you already have your education, you're in your profession. So military is a great option. Job. Many of you may be looking at jobs. You know, this past summer I've been talking to people about career opportunities, and a lot of them were working jobs. Some of them were working 1 or 2 jobs at a time. And I'll ask them, I'll say, hey, is this something that you really enjoy? Do you appreciate what you're doing? Does this job give you benefits? And a lot of them say no. They're saying, I'm not even making enough money to survive, and so I'm going to take on a second job, and I'm not getting paid vacations and holidays. So I'd like to talk to you about education, and there's 4 things that you need to understand about education. One is you need to understand that not every school is the same. Some schools, you're going to be spending at least 4 years. Your traditional colleges, like universities, you'll spend at least 4 years. Your community colleges, you'll be spending at least 2 years, maybe more. Your career and trade schools, you're looking at probably 2 years or less. A school like WyoTech, you're in and out in 9 months. The other thing you need to look at is how many of you in here want to be taking general eds? Many of you don't want to be taking general eds. Your traditional schools, your universities, you'll spend at least 2 years of your time doing general education classes. Community colleges, at least half of your time. Your career schools, you're going to take some general ed, but they're going to be specific to what you really want to know and understand. So for example, a medical assistant, they're going to take anatomy and physiology. That's just part of the training. Someone who wants to go into graphic design, they'll take color theory and other areas relating to the software programs. Trade schools like WyoTech, you don't take general ed classes. You're just focusing on the skills you need. And the career schools and the trade schools are typically more hands-on. So it's nice to know that you have some options with this type of education and training. So your goal is obviously we've just shown you, you have some options, you have some goals. But the question is getting the education you need for a successful game plan. What is your game plan going to be? What are you going to be doing that can get you out there into positions that are most available and where there's the most opportunities there? The other thing is how do you find the right career path for you? How do you go about doing that? Well, it's probably a good idea to understand what your talents and abilities are. The other thing is talking to your counselors. You know, we've got Mrs. Johnson here. She's been very helpful for many of you, I know that. You want to talk to people like me. My position is to help people find the right career path. I actually go to their homes and talk to their families, and we look to see if WyoTech's the right fit. So that's another option. Something that we need to talk about today is there is a skills gap. What a skills gap is that there's professions out there where they have need of highly skilled and highly trained individuals, but they don't have enough people that they can rely upon. My friends, today I need you to know that there are many positions out there that are waiting for you, but you must have additional skills and training in getting into those fields and professions. So millions of career and growing opportunities, but there's not enough skilled people. You have people that are going into retirement and people that are going to be leaving these positions. Some people have been in those jobs for 40 years. How many of you here know Mike Rowe on Dirtiest Jobs on the Discovery Channel? Let me show you what he has to say.
Look, I've got nothing bad to say about a college education, really. I have one, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And if you have the desire and the money to pay for a 4-year degree, I say go for it. But look, we need to stop promoting higher education at the expense of every other form of learning. It's just crazy. It leads to unintended consequences. And right now we got a big one. It's called a skills gap. And the skills gap is bad news for anybody who's addicted to paved roads or electricity or indoor plumbing. Welders, plumbers, electricians, carpenters, steam fitters, pipe fitters, all across the country. There's shortages in these areas, even with unemployment going through the roof. It's crazy. 50 years ago, those jobs were critical. They still are. The problem is we just don't value them the way we used to. So we don't encourage people to pursue them. We're so focused on getting into the corner office, we forgot how to build a corner office.
So right now, you have a lot of different companies and businesses where they have needs. And as you can see here, this is a partial list of opportunities. Now, the list of jobs or career opportunities highlighted in the red are the ones that we teach at our school. But you'll notice An aircraft technician. How many of you knew that there are opportunities for that? Carpenters, working in computer science, construction, dental hygienists, electricians, painters. You have a wide range of opportunities, but the one thing that's required is you need to have additional education, skills, and training. Now, how many of you have ever thought about that you wish you had a tool that you could use to kind of help you prepare for life after high school? How many of you really don't know what you want to do? Okay? I've been in that boat, and today there's a lot of people that are still in that boat. They're trying to think, what am I supposed to be doing in life? Well, today I want to introduce to you what we call our Vita Novice Super Strong Survey. It's an actual personality and interest survey where once you take it, it gives you immediate results and gives you things about your characteristics and opportunities that you want to consider. It'll give you up to your 6 top career choices. In fact, today I've got an information sheet, a leaflet that you can come up and get. After class today, come up and get that. It'll give you the instructions. This is free. No one's going to call you and say, hey, good job on this. You can use it on your mobile device, and this is something you can take in 10 minutes or less. So there's some opportunities out there, and Mrs. Johnson, like I was talking about today, this is what I was referring to, and this will be something I'll be able to support the school in if you guys have any other questions on it. Another thing that you need to start looking at is knowing what is a professional attitude. Now we're going to have a little fun with this. How many of you know what a professional attitude is? Okay. Now, professional attitude deals with how you interact with an employer that's going to hire you. So we're going to play a little game, and whoever gets the right answer, I've got a lanyard here, and I'll give those one to everyone that gets the correct answer. So, here we are. We're going to go for it and give you some questions and see how professional you are. So question 1. If you want to look professional, how many texts should you send in a job interview? A, B, or C? Oh, good answer. Okay. So, none. Why would you say none? Okay. Yeah. How many employers want to be dealing with you having your cell phone on your desk and it's ringing and you're answering it? How professional is that? In fact, what's probably even better than that? Get rid of your phone. Turn it off, put it somewhere where it's not going to be out there and you don't have to worry about that. So, good job. How long does a hiring manager spend looking at most resumes? A, B, or C? Okay? 1 minute would be nice, but what's the real answer, guys? Okay? 15 seconds. Okay? Well, you say, well, why, if someone really wants to hire someone, why are they spending only 15 seconds looking at your resume? Well, if they've got a stack of resumes where they got 50 of them and they've got a long day's work, they don't have more than 15 seconds to be looking at these. So it's quite interesting. Here's another interesting question. Question number 3. How long should a professional resume be? A, B, or C? Good job. You're exactly right. 1 page. Why? Well, you figure out that they're only doing 15 seconds looking at each resume. Can you read a resume that's 2 or 5 pages long in 15 seconds? There's no way. So, good job with that. Question number 4. What does a professional email address look like? You were pretty quick on that. Good job. Yeah, what's wrong with having Surfer Dude or something like that? Well, it doesn't really mean that you're a bad person if you put that on there, but it's not quite professional. Your name is always professional. And if you even want to tie in your middle initial for your middle name, that's great as well. So, I'll go back up. So question number 5. Which social media sites do employers look at before hiring someone? Okay? Twitter and Facebook are pretty popular. Good answer. You're right. They look at all of them. Why? Because when you go into an interview, they don't have the opportunity to really see who you are just in a face-to-face interview. The other thing is can they really base who you are based upon your resume and looking at that? No. So all they have to do is get on social media and boom, your personality is right out there, okay? So they look at all of them. So you definitely don't want to be posting pictures like this. How many of you have friends that may put some pictures that may be a little bit inappropriate sometimes? Yeah, probably not the most wise thing to do, because if a potential employer is looking at those, you could be looking at not getting employed in that opportunity for that job. Question number 6. What makes you look like a professional? A, B, or C? A. Good answer. Your hair is out of your face, you're clean shaven, and not wearing cologne or perfume. What's wrong with wearing a little bit of cologne or perfume? Yeah, some people don't really know how far to go with cologne or perfume, so they go a little overboard. So, great answer there. Question number 7. How do you make a professional impression when you walk into a job interview? A, B, or C? Yeah, C. You're absolutely right. Why did you pick C? Okay? Yeah, you know, a smile is not intrusive, it's not aggressive. You're shaking someone's hand. Now when you shake someone's hand, it's probably best if you're sitting down, stand up and shake their hand and introduce yourself. Say, hi, my name is Kim or John or whatever your name may be. So good answer. Question number 8. In a job interview, what should you do? A, B, or C? That's right. You gotta look enthusiastic. No one wants to deal with someone that looks like a deadhead. And you wanna, obviously you wanna sit up straight. You wanna have great eye contact. Maybe you just stare at someone and look at, no. Shift your eyes back and forth from their right eye to the left eye. And then your body language. It's not slooping down and things like that. So, great answer. You definitely don't want to do this. This girl looks like she's just been just like deer in the headlights look. So doesn't probably look most professional, probably doesn't instill a lot of confidence in people. So, question number 9. What's the most professional answer you're asked? Why should I hire you? A, B, or C? Okay? You know, I could see why you'd say that. But what do you think about A? Okay, I think you mentioned the letter A out there. Good answer. You should hire me because I have experience. And here's an example. Maybe you worked for Walmart and you were a greeter and you went out of your way to smile and you shook hands and you did whatever. But you're giving a personal example of what you did in that process. And then you say, and then you can back everything up by your example. And you can see for yourself that, hey, I'm a hard worker. You know, I'm always on time. You know, I'm there at 5, 10, 15 minutes early. And then you're letting them know that, hey, if you hire me, it'd be a great choice. So, great answer. Question 10. What should you do after the interview? A, B, or C? Oh, good job. You must have looked at the answer beforehand, okay? Why don't you call them every day and pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, did I get the job? Or email them every day. You drive them crazy. And then keeping silent, they may say, no, they're not interested. But a 24-hour note, whether you write it or you send a little text or an email, 24 hours after the interview, that's spot on. So good job. So we're going to talk a little bit about WyoTech. Now, I'm not going to spend, I'm not telling you that everyone has to go to WyoTech. But this is a school that has a lot of things in common with the things and the strategies I've been telling you about today. So we'll talk to you a little bit about WyoTech, but here's a little video clip that gives you kind of a flavor for what we do as a school.
Did you know you could turn your passion for working on things, using modern technology, and solving problems with your hands and mind into a rewarding career? WyoTech has an intense 9-month program where you'll learn what it takes to become a highly sought-after technician. At WyoTech, you'll be working on the shop floor right away, getting training from master instructors in a hands-on program designed to give you the skills you need to begin a career doing the things you love, like customizing motorcycles, building street rods, working on big rigs, fine-tuning marine engines, and more. As you apply your new skills, you'll be surrounded by students who are as driven as you are and will push you to be successful. When you commit to WyoTech, we'll commit to you and make sure you gain the knowledge, skills, and abilities you need to become a highly sought-after technician. You were born for this stuff. You were born for WyoTech.
You know, I like that commercial because it says that you were born to come to WyoTech. It's interesting because a lot of my students, they'll tell me of times when they were 3 years old and they remember climbing underneath a truck or a car and they're working with their dad or brother or grandpa or even grandmas or sisters or whomever. So these are skills and opportunities that we provide that it's something that you grew up with. And so it's fun for me when I go into a home, and the best compliment I could ever receive is if I have a young man or young woman and they've just told me that they've been underneath the car fixing something and they feel with dirt and grime and they ask me, hey, should I go shower? I said, nope, just be as you are, because that's a real compliment to me. Our school's a little bit different. This is a school where you get to choose what you want to do. You don't have to take general eds like I mentioned earlier. This is a school where you get to choose one of these 5 categories. Now you can do all 5 of them if you'd like, but you can choose to do automotive. For 6 months, these are all 6-month core programs. For 6 months you can work on automobiles. You can work on gasoline, hybrid, electric engine vehicles. You're working with the newer make and model vehicles, and you're working with a variety of make and models. You're not just working with one particular make and model. So pretty much you're covering from bumper to bumper. Diesel, this is heavy-duty diesel. Working with semi-trucks, you learn how to work on trains. You can work on diesel power generators. Some of you have worked on a farm before, and you worked on a Case or New Holland or John Deere or Kubota tractor. Some of you have friends or family members that have worked in the oil field and the mining industries. These skills are powerful right now, great opportunities. We'll talk a little bit about this later. Collision refinishing deals with doing body work to cars. Now, how many of you in here have ever been in an accident before? Yeah, I've had my fair share of accidents, and my kids have. This is a program where you learn how to disassemble cars if there's been an accident. You get to check to see if the frame is aligned. You get to take out dents and prep cars for painting. You get to learn how to professionally paint. This is something that a lot of people really enjoy. Motorcycles. A lot of my students that go into the motorcycle program, they've been working with motorcycles and riding motorcycles since they're 3 or 4 or 5 years old. In fact, some of them remember riding a motorcycle before they remember putting training wheels on a bicycle. But with this program, you can also choose to take other programs that allow you to work on European motorcycles, Asian motorcycles, even off-road power, which you can work on ATVs, jet skis, snowmobiles, side-by-sides. Marine technology deals with working with boats. That could be anywhere between working with small fishing boats to big yachts and cruisers. So 6 months, you choose these skills, and then you get to choose a 3-month specialty. The specialties are huge because they always tie in and have some kind of a correlation with your core program. So if someone wants to get applied service management, for 3 months they're getting management training. They graduate not only with their core skills when they graduate in 9 months, but they get management skills and they get their associate degree. So they learn how to write a business plan and how to do banking and financing with the business. Some people like to restore and customize older cars. How do you like to restore and customize cars? So our students for 3 months, that's all they do, is in this class they learn how to focus their skills and training on how to customize and restore older cars. Motorsports chassis fabrication, they use their ability to design and MIG and TIG welding, and they're designing and building rock crawlers and dune buggies and roll cages. High performance powertrains, how many of you in here like dealing with high performance powertrains or doing high performance engines? So this one you're going to learn how to diagnose an engine and how to put it on a dyno and how to get the most performance out of it. Trim and upholstery, doing the interior to cars and trucks and boats and living room furniture. You learn to do that for 3 solid months. Some people like doing both automotive and diesel together. Our advanced diesel training is pretty awesome. Light duty diesel, working with your Power Stroke, Duramax, Cummins engine trucks. A real popular program right now for our students is our DATE program. It deals with their ability to work with Mack and Volvo trucks for 3 months, and Mack and Volvo loves hiring our students here. As I mentioned, you can choose to do a specialty in Harley-Davidson, European motorcycles, Asian motorcycles, off-road power, and also advanced marine. So this school, you don't have general ed classes. You're in a classroom setting for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday schedule. And yes, you will have books to read, you'll have tests to take, you'll have take-home assignments, and you'll have lectures. But you come to school every day wearing a shop uniform shirt, you're wearing Dickies or Levi's, you're wearing professional work style boots, steel-toed boots are appropriate, and you're learning skills that employers want, need, expect, and demand. So have you thought that you could go to school in 9 months and have some of the leading companies, not only in the United States but in the world, that would come and recruit you? There's no promises, there's no guarantees, but all I can tell you is that the students that come to WyoTech, and if they put their whole heart, soul, and effort into it, they'll have every opportunity to be as successful as they want to be. We have 3 locations. The nearest location is in Laramie, Wyoming. Now, most of my students I send to WyoTech are going to the Laramie, Wyoming campus. You know, from where you are right now, you're looking at about probably 5.5, 6 hours. I live in Orem, I'm at about 5.5 hours away. Some parts of the states it may take a little bit longer. So Laramie, Wyoming, they offer the automotive and diesel and the collision refinishing, and then most of the specialties. Our campus in Blairsville, Pennsylvania is about 45 minutes east of Pittsburgh. How many of you are Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Okay? So some of our students love going to the Steelers games if they can get tickets. But anyone that wants to go on the East Coast, obviously, they can get skills and training and will have opportunities to work with a lot of the companies back east. Our Daytona Beach, Florida campus focuses primarily on your motorcycles and boats. Apparently, Daytona Beach is supposedly the motorcycle capital of the world, and obviously you're surrounded by large bodies of water. Now, I failed to mention Laramie and Blairsville are very similar in the programs that they offer, so a lot of it just depends on where you want to live and how close to what side of the seashore you want to be. WyoTech is a nonprofit school. Does anyone know what a nonprofit school is? Yeah, it's a school that obviously we make money, but a lot of our money that we make is returned back into the students. It helps us update our tools, equipment, machinery. It also assists us, and we'll talk about this here in a minute, helps our students get additional funding in the form of scholarships and grants. For-profit schools, they're there to make money. There's nothing wrong with that, but you have big-time investors that are looking to get a return on that. So there's a little bit of a difference for those types of differences between nonprofit and for-profit schools. You know, WyoTech's been around since 1966, and over the 51 years that we've been in existence, we've received a lot of accolades. Some of you have seen a lot of our students on television, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But this year, WyoTech received the distinction of being one of the top 30 schools of the 2-year trade schools. This is awesome. And they base it upon affordability. They look at the type of quality and what type of money you can make afterwards. So this is a great honor and distinction for our school. So, ready for a little game? It's time. So, fact or myth? Automotive technicians spend their days changing oil and installing mufflers. What would you guess? That's absolutely true. That's a myth, okay? Good job. Our automotive technicians, they do mufflers, they do change oil, but a lot of times they need to know, most of the days, they need to know from bumper to bumper. If there's an issue that comes in, and sometimes it's just hearing a sound. And so you need to have the ability to do problem solving, okay? Fact or myth? The most advanced tool that you'll use is a wrench. Well, what do you think? Yeah, you're right. You do use wrenches at WyoTech, but you're dealing with cars today. Did you know that some cars have anywhere between 25 to 50 processors in them? You know, a lot of the, the hybrid engine vehicles, those are pretty amazing as well. So our students are working with computerized systems so that they know how to diagnose and properly treat the issue that they're dealing with. There's a lot of the equipment and machinery that they use deals with those types of computerized equipment. Okay, fact or myth? A career in the auto diesel industry is a dead-end job. What do you think? Oh yeah, I bet your uncle really loves what he does. And does he ever said anything about there being a dead end to this industry? No. So there's lots, this is a huge growing industry. Opportunities this past summer, like I mentioned earlier, I've been visiting with employers, and one of the challenges they have right now is that they can't find enough skilled and trained individuals to fill these positions. And they can't just hire someone right out of high school because they don't have the skills that they need. So if you get the right kind of skills and education and training, there's some amazing opportunities. How many of you ever heard of a website that's published through the Department of Education, or excuse me, the Department or Bureau of Labor and Statistics? And this is a website where, in fact, the website is www.bls.gov. So you may want to write that down somewhere. Any career profession you could imagine going into, they have information. They'll tell you the nature of the work. They'll tell you the good things, the bad things. They'll tell you what the opportunities are for growth and advancement and for also income opportunities. You'll notice on here that it gives you projected growth. So obviously we're pinpointing the programs that we offer at WyoTech. So for example, from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, that during this time frame, they say that there's going to be a 12% growth in the diesel industry. Why is that? We've got all these baby boomers that are retiring. So they're leaving and they need to fill those in. You've got technology. The technology is increasing like crazy in opportunities. Soon you'll see diesels driving down the roads by themselves. You'll have self-driven diesels. So if you're young, you're ambitious, and you have a real passion for any of these things, then guys, it's not just these skills and professions. There's a lot of careers out there that require education, but you get the skills and training, and you can have a bright, wonderful career. So I want to talk to you about our school and what we do. Our training assists our students in finding employment, and these are some of the major employers that we deal with. You see CarMax and Cummins and Ford and Harley-Davidson and Mazda. These companies come to our campuses a few times during the year. They're there for a 3-day period of time, and they're there seeking out those students who have put forth the best effort. So this is a school I'm not going to tell you that you want to go to and goof off and have fun. No, you can goof off and have fun, but you don't do it at the expense of your training. This is a school where we have our career services department. Every student, when they've hit their 6-month mark, they're going to assist you in putting together your resume. Can you imagine what it looks like when an employer from any of these companies or other companies see a student that's attending WyoTech and they want to go work for that company? Now, we can't make any promises and guarantees. We do have some of our students that are getting employed before they even graduate. Can you imagine you haven't even graduated yet and you've got a company that already secured an opportunity for you to go to work for their company? Pretty amazing. And then we invite these companies to come and recruit our students. They'll conduct face-to-face interviews. And some of our students are getting multiple offers, and so that's kind of a nice situation to be in as well. Fact or myth? Oh, in fact, I forgot to give you your thing there. Sorry about that. Fact or myth? I can't afford to go to school. Guys, how many of you in here are afraid of the cost of going to school? Yeah. You know, costs are raised, but what if you got education, skills and training in any of these professions that we talked about earlier, or even a school like WyoTech, and you have companies that want to hire you? What do you call that money that you have to get to go to school then? Okay? So, it's a myth. It's a myth that you can't get funding to go to school. And here's the thing. To qualify, you've got to apply. So, many of you know Mrs. Johnson, I appreciate you being here again. You may have gone over the FAFSA with them. Do any of you know what the FAFSA is? FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. So the federal government has programs that can support you in your paying for your education. You have Pell Grants, and you have government student loans, you have federal work study. You'll notice the things highlighted in white. These are programs that we offer as a school. Our American Dream Scholarship, Zenith Housing Grant, Zenith Student Grant. This year, our parent company has committed $15 million in supporting students who want to pursue our type of training. Not only that, but you also have other scholarships you can apply to. You've got fastweb.com, you've got scholarships. So here's the thing. Don't assume that you can't get funding to go to school. You need to find the right kind of school, and if WyoTech's the right school for you, we're going to show you the ways of getting the funding for your education. So good job. Fact or myth? Skilled automotive technicians are major celebrities. What would you guess? Yeah, I think you've probably watched enough television programs with our students. It is a fact. One of our graduates, her name is Jessie Combs. I've had the privilege of meeting Jessie. In fact, we were at a group function and I sat down there for 2 hours, and you know what I learned about Jessie? She's just like you and me. She's no different, but she had a passion. Jessie, when she graduated from WyoTech, she was on a program called Extreme 4x4. She's been on the show Mythbusters. How many of you remember when the main girl was on maternity leave and she covered for her for a while? And then obviously she's done a program called All Girls Garage. And a few years ago, she broke the land world speed record for four-wheeled vehicles, averaging the speed of 392 miles an hour. Pretty impressive. And having met her myself, she's a great asset to the school and wonderful representative. Mark Christ. Many of you may have seen Mark Christ on the television program Detroit Muscle through the Power Nation. He's a graduate. And you know what's so cool about what's happening today? Each of these individuals that you're seeing on the screen today were once where you are today. They saw a presentation, or maybe they saw a WyoTech commercial, and now here's where they are today. Okay? Now let's talk about you. If you came to WyoTech, could you be on television? Maybe. I don't know. But all I can tell you is what's so cool is that people that come to our school get skills and training and education that can provide them with employment, not only just for a small period of time, but skills that can last them to the day they die. They can retire with these skills. Guys, I appreciated the time and effort that you've put up with me today. I passed out the iPads. If you don't mind right now, if you could just take those out, turn them on again, and I'd like you to put down what level of interest you may have in this type of training. And no worries, there's no right or wrong answer. And then put down, you'll notice the list of different programs that we offer, if you wouldn't mind putting that down. When you're finished, if you wouldn't mind just putting your iPad back on your table, and then I'll pick it up right after the class. So, you remember we talked about what's next? What's next for you? Well, today, whether you're a senior or a junior or even a sophomore, you need to be focused on graduating. You know, if you don't graduate, a lot of these opportunities we've been talking about are lessened. So, you need to graduate. Secondly, after today, you need to start today talking to your parents. Start creating a career plan. Start planning for your educational plans. Talk to your counselor. Mrs. Johnson, she told me how much she wants to talk with students and assisting them. And then you can call me. So if any of you have seen anything that you like about WyoTech and you'd like to learn more about it, I'm right here in your backyard. I'd like you to take out your cell phones and take a picture of this screenshot right here of my name and my information. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me. Just don't call me late for dinner, that's all I ask, okay? But this is something that I want to let you know. If I come and meet with you and your family, it's not to put pressure on you or to do Jedi mind tricks, it's to help you see if we're the right fit for you. And if it's not, that's okay, but at least you took time to look at it. So today, I want to thank you for your time. Mr. Burbank, Mrs. Johnson, thank you for allowing me to be here today. Guys, thank you, and I wish you the very best. And jump on this soon. I want to hear from as many of you as I can. Thank you very much for your time.